Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Richard Hatch reveals how Teresa Giudice improved his life. Survivor alum Richard Hatch shared an unlikely benefit of competing against Real Housewives star Teresa Giudice. He revealed that she helped improve his sex life. Keep reading to find out how. Network's House of Villains reality show collects the worst of bad reality stars, puts them in a house, and turns the camera on. Season 1 was a huge success. Season 2 premiered earlier this month with a star-studded cast, including Bachelor Queen Victoria Lawson, 90 Day Fiancé alum Larissa Lima, and reality show vet Tiffany Pollard. But what fans didn't expect was the friendship between Survivor alum Richard Hatch and Real Housewives star Teresa Giudice. Unfortunately, Richard Hatch's time on the show was short-lived. He was the show's second elimination after Larissa Lima. Often considered the greatest Survivor competitor, he was in disbelief during his interview with Page 6 following his exit. He blasted his House of Villains co-stars for being too emotional instead of focusing on gameplay. I was surprised. Yeah, the journey was, for me, intended to be all the way to the end. In this case, my fault, totally. Many of them were not even playing a game. It was all about emotion, and I just wasn't prepared for that at all. However, Richard Hatch didn't leave the show empty-handed, so to speak. He told Page 6 that one famous interaction with Teresa Giudice has improved his sex life for the first time since his divorce nearly a decade ago. The Bravo celebrity candidly asked him if he was a top or a bottom. He wasn't shy about answering that he's a bottom. However, he revealed that he doesn't tell his dates that. Teresa Giudice suggested that he be honest about his preference. According to Richard Hatch, the advice has improved his *X life for the better. I've been single now since my divorce, almost 8 years. I have interacted now, since this aired, with some of the most interesting men from all over the world. I'm going to be in a partnership at some point, I'm betting. Based on Teresa asking me if I'm a top or a bottom. House of Villains changed my life, I'll bet you. In a surprising twist of celebrity anecdotes, Richard Hatch, known for his historic win on Survivor Season 1, recently revealed that none other than Real Housewives of New Jersey icon Teresa Giudice played an unexpected role in boosting his romantic life. Although their paths crossed at a charity event, it wasn't a direct interaction that did the trick. According to Hatch, it was Teresa's unabashed attitude, her infamous resilience, and a particular piece of advice on living unapologetically that reignited a sense of confidence in him. Richard, known for his own flair for unapologetic boldness, felt oddly inspired by Teresa's post-prison comeback and her unbreakable spirit. If Teresa could waltz back into her social scene and hold her head high, what was stopping me? Hatch said in a candid, humorous interview with an entertainment outlet. Sure, we're in different worlds, but there was something in her approach to dealing with people, relationships, and even gossip that made me rethink how I was putting myself out there. He explained that, although he's naturally confident, there were times in recent years when he found himself pulling back, especially in dating. Survivor catapulted him into fame as the season's cunning and often polarizing character, but fame and reality TV relationships didn't translate well into real life. As he grew older, Hatch admitted, dating became less thrilling and more strategic. I'd analyze every move, question every motive, he laughed. It was like I was back on the island, reading people's intentions, and it took the fun out of everything. It was by chance that he caught one of Teresa's post-prison interviews, where she laid bare the mistakes she'd made and talked openly about forgiveness, self-love, and moving forward despite public scrutiny. I couldn't look away, Hatch admitted, almost sheepishly. She was raw, no pretense, just putting it all out there, and it made me question myself. Was I putting too much pressure on getting things perfect in dating? This revelation simmered for a while until Hatch attended a charity event in New York where, By coincidence, Teresa was also making an appearance. Despite the differences in their reality TV origins, both were well known in their own spheres, and they ended up in the same circle of conversation. Hatch watched Teresa work the room with her trademark authenticity, laughter, genuine interest, and even a little Jersey flair. But what really caught his attention was her unreserved outlook on romantic life. According to Hatch, he managed to get a few minutes alone with Teresa after the event. They shared a bottle of wine and a few laughs, during which Hatch brought up her post-prison interviews and asked her outright about dating. Teresa, never one to mince words, offered him a piece of advice that would resonate with him for months to come. "Richard, you've got to go for what you want and stop overthinking it," she reportedly told him. "Be you. Because people will judge you no matter what, might as well give them something to talk about." In her classic Teresa style, she threw in a playful nudge about how life is too short to wait for permission in relationships. "It was like getting hit over the head with a coconut," Hatch joked, referring to their shared reality show roots. "The simplest advice, but it unlocked something in me. I realized I've been holding back, protecting myself too much." Inspired by Teresa's bold approach, Hatch embarked on a bit of an experiment, allowing himself to be less guarded in dating and embracing some of that unrestrained confidence she displayed. Almost immediately, he noticed a difference in the way he connected with others. Conversations flowed easier, and he didn't shy away from discussing his past or his quirks. As his dating life gained momentum, he realized that Teresa's advice wasn't just about confidence, it was about vulnerability too. When Hatch stopped worrying about how others perceived him, he found a freedom he hadn't felt since his Survivor days. "There's nothing sexier than feeling comfortable in your own skin," he said with a grin. "I didn't need to be perfect, I needed to be authentic." And as luck would have it, it wasn't long before someone special entered his life. Richard described this new relationship as the most genuine connection he'd had in years. Their relationship was a whirlwind, filled with laughter, honesty, and a refreshing lack of games or pretenses. "Teresa's voice was in my head the whole time, pushing me to take risks," he admitted. "She's probably never going to let me live this down, but here I am, happier than I've been in ages." This surprising twist of events led Richard to reach out and thank Teresa, half joking about her role as his sex life guru. To his surprise, Teresa embraced the new title, responding with her trademark humor. "I knew you had it in you," she teased over a phone call. Their friendship blossomed from that point on, with Hatch promising to introduce Teresa to some of his favorite island activities should she ever want a break from New Jersey. Looking back, Hatch is grateful for that unexpected evening in New York. As someone who spent years strategizing both on and off the reality stage, learning to let go was both foreign and exhilarating. "It's funny, really. I went from living by alliances on an island to finding a real-life connection by just being me," he mused. And if there's one lesson he's taken to heart, it's that sometimes the most unlikely people have the best advice. Whether it's surviving on coconuts or surviving in love, Richard Hatch and Teresa Giudice have shown that reality stars can indeed cross genres and offer each other a few nuggets of wisdom along the way.